These stories are real. The names are hidden. The voices are synthetic. But the fear is always true. Welcome to Scripted from Truth. In the fall of 1987, on a road between Missouri and Arkansas, there was a town that almost no one knew about, a place barely marked on any map, Ashgrove. Its population was 42. No bank, no gas station, just stone houses, faded churches, and a quiet people too shy to make noise. No phone signal, no TV reception, but everyone knew. Time moved differently there, and that morning, a bus arrived. Walter Green was an old bus driver who did the Springfield-Ashgrove morning route. He had driven it for years, but that day, the road was completely empty. Until someone got on. It was a young woman, silent, soaked, as if she had just walked out of the rain. She never looked up, just boarded and sat by the window. She carried an old brown leather suitcase. Water was dripping from it, and Walter noticed it then. Her shoes were muddy, as if she had walked straight out of a grave. The bus crawled into the fog. Rain pounded the windows. Headlights swallowed by the mist. When they reached Ashgrove, Walter turned to the woman. And in that moment, the engine died. The headlights shut off. Everything went silent. They stayed in the bus all night. Walter tried speaking to her. No reply. She didn't move. Water kept dripping from the suitcase. Walter stayed awake, or thought he did. At one point, he realized the clock had stopped. At another, he couldn't hear his own heartbeat. And at some point, he thought the woman was crying, but it wasn't her. In the morning, townsfolk found the bus. Only Walter was inside. The woman was gone. Walter was on his knees, his eyes bulging, his face torn by his own nails. His tongue had been ripped out, and on the floor, in blood, one sentence was written. Message written in blood. She's still on the bus. You just can't see her. Walter wasn't taken to the hospital. They brought him straight to the asylum. He never spoke again. But the real question was, the woman, who was she? One of the town's elders, upon seeing her face, sat down slowly, closed his eyes and said,
I know that girl. She died in 1957. I was there. I helped cover her face in the coffin. Same face, same dress.
What happened next was even stranger. The bus was being transported to a nearby city. The truck crashed. Everyone died. The bus vanished. It hadn't burned. It hadn't rolled. It just wasn't there. 3 years later, the entire town of Ashgrove burned to the ground. No cause found. Only one note in the report. Report note. The town was empty. No people. But everywhere, mud. Years passed. The case was closed. But a police radio recording surfaced. A broken, crackling voice said,
There's a woman here. Wet, muddy, silent. The bus is asking everyone, who was the last passenger?
Today, the Springfield-Ashgrove Road is still active. And over the last 40 years, 11 people have disappeared on that very stretch. Each one left behind only one thing, a wet suitcase. If you're ever driving late one night, and an old bus shows up behind you, with its lights blinding your rear view, don't get on, because it might still be looking for the last passenger. Some stories vanish, some stay buried, but a few return. Through static, through whispers. This one did. Yours could be next. Have you lived something you still can't explain? Share it in the comments. And if you want more stories, I shouldn't tell. Like, subscribe, and we'll keep listening.